The police took all the electronics they found in my home except for my mom's mobile phone and my siblings' mobile phone. All of the electronics they just took, and then they said they were going to keep it for 1 month with them, and if they don't find anything illegal on it, they were going to send it abroad to check more. These are things I shared with my family, and I always knew these people might some point come and try to take my things. That's why I was being extremely careful, and I didn't break the law, and I wasn't publicly atheist. I was a pretending Muslim. I was still in closet, and they didn't have to take all my electronics. And before they were taking my electronics, when they just started investigating me, they posted on news that I was being investigated, and they posted on news that I was being investigated at a time when lots of people who were asking government to arrest those people who are very close to the politicians who are in power now. Let's just call them, there is this fake NGO that goes as human rights people, but all the work they did was for this ruling political party. Hi guys, my name is Ufa. I'm from Maldives. I was forced to flee from Maldives for my safety after being investigated for blasphemy. In Maldives, no one is allowed to legally or in any other way leave religion, and Christian religion is also a crime. At the time the police took me for investigation, they kept telling me I broke the law by posting some things on Facebook, but they wouldn't show me exactly what I did wrong, and I asked them so many times. And then they would keep me for hours, and then they made me read things on paper that were not the things I said, and then they would record me. They didn't make me read anything bad, but it wasn't what I was saying that they made me read. And then all of a sudden one night they just came around 10 p.m. and took all my electronics, and also whatever electronics that was in my home. The police, they told me they would return my electronics if they don't find anything on it, but they took my mom's signature for it. They took my mom 5 times for question. Now my passport is expiring, and I can only go to Maldives or to Sri Lanka to renew my passport. The last time I was on a flight, this news people, they posted my flight number and what time I would be landing when I was coming here, and I don't know how they are going to be posting this time when I go back. I just don't know how these people are going to react to everything. It's just going to be really, really hard for me, and it's just going to be more scarier than before. Before I was a pretending Muslim when they did all those things to me, and after that I haven't actually been to Maldives all this time, and now I just don't have any any option left. Yes, I did apply to asylum, but I don't think I will ever get it. So the fake NGO who has been trying to get me killed, they they like it when religious people attack me. They try to get religious people to attack me. That's how they get these UN jobs, by applying with the people who get harmed by religious people. They are not doing anything inside Maldives to make it safe for us. What they do is not for us, unless they want to get us harmed in some way to get some points from UN and other organizations to make them look like they are frontline defenders or something. Everything police did to me while I was in Maldives 3 years ago, all those things they did to me while I was still in closet. Okay guys, I just want you guys to remember that things could be more serious now. Everyone who went to jail in Maldives was tortured. I'm sure if I'm taken to jail, I will not just be there just as a normal person, because in Islamic governments, if you go there after being accused of apostasy, you're not going to have a good time there. Everyone who went there was tortured by the guards and the other inmates, and they were tortured so bad they found God again. Okay, except for one guy. I'm the atheist. Most articles are published on my country. Those kind of publicity comes with a lot of threat, and I just don't know how people are going to react, because every time I made a move it was on news, or it just became headlines. Even when I got sick with COVID, she gave a fatwa to Hanan. I don't know all the things that could help me because I also have limited knowledge of things. Memes help, getting my story to the right people helps. Take people who could help me in this situation. I need my passport, I need my electronics from the police in Maldives, I need an ATM card, and I do need money. I can't survive without money. But more than money, I actually need other things. And you guys need to do whatever you think would help me. When I didn't get any reply from refugee registration place, I actually contacted the UN guy who was in charge of the religious freedom thing. He happened to be from Maldives at the time, the one who was in charge, and he did all he could to suppress me. He used his influence and power he has within this ACES organization because he was in charge of religious freedom. ACES organizations were kind of like friends with him in a way. He used his influence to get them to pressure me to change it. I was actually going to censor that part from my story, but because the fake NGO kept going to ACES organization to get access to me while I was in a very vulnerable state, when I was in a place when they could exploit me more than they already did, I just didn't want it to be a secret. This is the reason why they have not helped me. Corrupt guy who is friends with the current government in Maldives, who had this UN jobs, because UN jobs are like family jobs in my country. Everyone who gets UN jobs is like someone who is supporter of the corrupt government or supporter of the previous dictatorship we had, or maybe dictators' kids. They all get UN jobs. They do UN jobs, they do human rights frauds, and they do human rights violation, corrupts for corrupt politicians. That's all they do. They don't do anything good. And it's always people like them doing these jobs. Whenever there's a case from Maldives, it will definitely go through them. I wasn't going to talk about this fake NGO, but after I left Maldives, they still kept posting about me on news, and there's this one news that always posts in a way that would help people to be sure that they won't be punished if something was done to me by them. They always post in that way, and this one news is known for supporting them. They always post about the fake NGO in a way that would get them UN jobs. So this fake NGO, they were not just doing that, they were making the news post about me continuously, and they were going to ISIS organizations behind my back, telling them that they could help if any case comes to them. See, at this point, I was really extremely scared for my life. That's why I didn't want to go back, because there was continuous threats. And then these people were going to ISIS organizations, telling them that they could help if there's any case, and some of these organizations also need these kind of things, for publicity. So they were kind of happy that I could be in a position to be exploited. Most ISIS organizations, they are good people, and so I didn't want them to be with them. They are the ones I would be going to if anything happens to me. When the fake NGO, they go to ISIS organization, they pretend like they have supported us publicly. It's just kind of a joke, because the whole reason why people know them only for the corruption work they do is because they are not actually in public spaces promoting human rights. They don't do that. Everyone knows this, and people have even called them out on that. When it comes to talking to foreigners, they are always they're always bragging about it, but they don't actually do that inside Maldives. Whatever they did for one political party. It was a paid job. And when I talked about what these people, the fake NGO people, did to me, there was one of the most influential religious organization in Maldives. They publicly asked in a news statement government to investigate what I was talking about. And according to Maldivian law, if a religious organization asks that, you actually have to investigate it. But when it came to like protecting me, they didn't want to, because this obviously won't get them UN job. So what they do is, once they lose the power, in these politicians, when they have lost their power, they will move abroad and they will have all these NGOs and things to get the money. And while they have power, their people are given these kind of things to help them build that. I really need my electronics back. If I had my electronics back, I could do even side hustles and earn more money. I could even take classes to improve my skills so I can earn more money. But they are not giving any of my things back, and I know I don't have anything illegal on them. I was 100% sure. I don't know why they are keeping it. It's been 3 years. When I got stuck here, things were very extremely hard for me. And then I have been making minimum wage for more than a year now. But the thing is, I just make minimum wage. I pay my rent and I eat once a day, and all my money is gone. I just don't have enough money to do other things. My rent is $60 more, and food, everything is more expensive now. It's not my fault, and I can't pay these prices, guys. The fine alone costs more than $700. And if I had money, I didn't have to pay this fine. I could have gone by now, but now I have to like pay the fine. And then there are other things also I have to pay. The first time when I fled from Maldives, I borrowed money from a friend because it was getting really extremely dangerous for me to stay there. Just 2 days before I fled, there was a news statement from Islamic minister telling the public that they were going to investigate my case with more added things. That's when I fled, and I borrowed money because I wasn't getting help, and it was just becoming really dangerous for me to stay there. And I still owe the money to the guy. Not just that, there's also like a couple of hundreds I owe to some of my other friends. It's just been extremely hard, and with the price, if I had my electronics, I could have done more work. I'm only earning minimum wage, okay, a little bit above minimum wage, but it's not enough. These prices are so high, normal people cannot pay it. And while they were like this, without my electronics, it's so hard, guys. Like, I had to buy everything I have now. It just costs so much money.